creative empowerment is the best thing that I think I've ever accomplished. And I would love to help you get there as well. And what do I mean by creative empowerment? Well, if you're anything like me, you can't quite put your... You can't focus on one single ambition. You don't just want to do this or just want to do that. You want to do many things, and the world will tell you no. The world will tell you that's not possible. You need to box yourself. Well, the world seems to be fucking us over, so I say fuck what the world tells you to do. You don't need to box yourself into anything, especially not now with, especially AI coming and like kind of replacing a lot of things. You really shouldn't box yourself. And that's what creative empowerment is about. It's about learning as many skills as possible and being able to put them together to become a creative powerhouse. Say you're an actor, or you want to be an actor. You are held back, all right? You're very held back. Your dream to become an actor is almost entirely reliant on external forces. It's almost entirely reliant on luck. It's almost entirely reliant on someone. There's levels to this. First of all, you need a show reel. So you're reliant on someone picking you to be in their short film so that then you can get footage for your show reel. But first of all, you need to hope that they finish their short film, which a lot of the time at this very, bottom level that you're at, people don't even finish their short films and they don't even send them to you, so you've got nothing to work with. Second level of luck is they do finish their short film, they do send it to you, and it sucks and you look crap. So that's another level. And no, that's not just you being a bad actor, that's also a lot of the time the editors don't know how to compliment actors in the edit. So, we're multiple levels into the luck area. And then you need to be able to get enough footage of yourself, build yourself a show reel, and find an agent. You know the drill. You're literally always looking for someone else to find you and say, aha, that's the one I want. You see, that's just a fucking depressing way to live, in my opinion. How can you go about your life with your, the biggest dream in the world being for you want to be an actor? How can you put that down to something that isn't reliant on you? How can you put that down to something that isn't in your control? Luck, other people. You're relying on other people to achieve your goal. Yes, you can do the necessary pieces of work, but at the end of the day, you still are relying on other people. And you know what? That's absolutely insane, because if you look at the statistics, 99% of people who try to become actors fail. And when I say fail, I literally mean they just don't find consistent work. So the 1% that do succeed, I'm not talking about big, famous stars. I'm talking about people who just work enough to earn a living, and that includes minimum wage. So 99% of people fail, and you're an actor, and you're going on the route that 99% of people ahead of you took and failed on, and you're doing the exact same thing they did, expecting something to change for you. That is quite literally the definition of insanity, mate. I learned it from Far Cry 3. I later learned it's a famous quote. But it's the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over again and expecting something to change. That's what you're fucking doing. That's mad. That's absolutely mad. The thing about the creative industry is you're already mad enough to want to be in it, whether you want to be in front of the camera or behind the camera. You're already crazy enough as it is. So you may as well go the extra mile and be even crazier so you can think outside of the box and then not follow the 99% of people that fail. And I'll explain what I mean by that. What I mean by that is empower yourself creatively. Don't fixate on one path. Break the external force reliancy. You need a show reel, get good at filmmaking, make your own show reel. I'm making it sound very simple, but Well, it's because it is simple. It's just time consuming. Um, yeah, it's very simple. You just, for example, what I did was I wanted to become an actor, but I had nothing to act in, so I started making films. And then I put myself in those films. And then I really focused on just learning filmmaking. I wasn't acting in them, I was just directing actors, editing, filming. And now I'm at a point where I've gotten very good at filming. And then I went and started making films alone where I would film myself. And now I'm reintegrating with people, working with crews, and I'm directing and I'm acting in my films at the same time. And it's such a gratifying experience because as an actor, you're always thinking, oh, I wish I had the opportunity to play this role or that role. But I'm always typecasted as the girlfriend, for example. If you empower yourself creatively, you can just give yourself the role that you think you'd really do great in. And you can just make it yourself because you have the skill set to do it. And that's exactly what I've done. And I want you to do the same thing. It is the single best thing I think you can do for yourself. And another thing is, it makes you a better actor as well because you give yourself perspective on acting. When you understand how the whole film is made, you have a perspective on what the director needs from the actor, what the editor needs from the actor to complement the actor in the edit, because you've done those roles. So when you step back into the actor's shoes, you have such a good perspective of what is required of you in order for you and the film to work. So there's nothing but positives, and the world will tell you no. When I tell people I want to do everything in film, they look at me and they say, well, don't be silly. Mate, I'm already being silly trying to get into film. They say shoot for the stars and reach the moon or something, and it's literally that. You gotta aim high so you can reach high. You gotta aim stupid high so you can reach high. If you just aim high, you're gonna reach maybe nowhere. So, yeah, you're already crazy for wanting to be an actor. You gotta out crazy the crazies. Try to become a director, an editor, a cinematographer so you can empower the crap out of yourself, so you can then give yourself your dream roles and then build yourself an awesome show reel. Give yourself an awesome show reel that really complements your abilities, because you're almost never going to give yourself an opportunity. You're almost never going to get an opportunity, where you can play a role that complements your acting uniqueness, your acting, the best of your acting abilities, if you rely on other people at this lower level. So give yourself those opportunities. And if you want to learn filmmaking, I've created a platform you can join below. It's free to join and everything. And you can share your films, you can post monologues and get feedback. You can also learn, I've got like a whole boot camp with exercises for acting, editing, filming, directing, everything. Because by the way, I studied acting, and I also was lucky enough to study film. Not just a one-year film thing, but still I've done both, and I've worked in both. I've worked as an actor and I've worked on set as a VFX supervisor. I've worked as a video editor, and I've also directed now. I'm not exaggerating, over 100 short films over the last 10 years. So I have a lot of experience with how the whole thing works, and I've put all of my knowledge that I've learned from others and from my own experience into these little exercises that I think will really help you out. And if you feel stuck, they can also just give you a push, maybe a push that you need to just make something. And then once you do these exercises, you make these films, you submit them to the group, and everyone can see them. And hopefully, if enough people start making films, I'm hoping to start reacting and watching them on the channel, giving feedback on the channel right here. I think that would be really fun. Anyway, guys, my goal is to dedicate this channel and Overlooked to help you empower yourself creatively. If that's something you believe in, something that you if that's something that you yeah, that resonates with you, definitely feel free to subscribe. It would help me out a lot. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.